Recording in progress.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're just waiting a few minutes
Good afternoon.
for others to join, and then we start.
Very well. Good afternoon. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to you all across the Caribbean to our 4th edition of the MicroPitch. We are very excited to have you with us in our 3rd training in English for the MicroPitch 2022-2023. And the topic is Sustainable Entrepreneurship and Business Model. I am Yan Q Yip, Business Intelligence Officer at the Caribbean Climate Innovation Center. MicroPitch is organized by the European Investment Bank, the Frankfurt School of Finance and Management, the Caribbean Climate Innovation Center, and the Dominican Microfinance Network, also called REDOMIF. We would like to also welcome all our partners and sponsors who are with us today. The United Nations Development Program in Belize and Trinidad and Tobago, the German Embassy in Santo Domingo, Promar, Parley for the Oceans, Lasco Financial Services Jamaica, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Commission, Visa, Red Camif, the Caribbean Development Bank, and Dev Solutions Consulting Limited Liability Company. To open the event, I would like to introduce Mr. Saiurys Pereira, Regional Head of European Investment Bank for the Caribbean region, who has been part of the MicroPitch from its very inception. Mr. Saiurys, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Yankee. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this 3rd and last training of MicroPitch 2022-2023. It means that we are now in the final stretch towards our business plan competition, a tribute to Caribbean entrepreneurship spirit. The European Investment Bank has been involved for more than 4 decades in supporting MSCs and entrepreneurship. We do that through loans via local financial institutions, but also, most importantly, in the form of technical assistance, encompassing training and capacity building. Since May 2018, the Frankfurt School of Finance and Management has been responsible for implementing our technical assistance program for the region, with a special focus on strategic issues for MSCs, such as digitalization, inclusion, and sustainability. And of course, since 2019, the MicroPitch concept. As Yankee mentioned, in today's session, we'll talk about entrepreneurship and the sustainable business model. Indeed, we do believe that entrepreneurship and sustainability are intertwined. We are of the opinion that sustainable entrepreneurship is an opportunity for business development, an opportunity to consolidate a competitive position at the nexus of environmental and social aspects. By embracing sustainability, small businesses should be able to improve their bottom line while creating value for society. For us, as a development bank, we abide by the triple bottom line business concept that can be broken down into 3 Ps: profit, people, and the planet. No doubt that companies that aim at this triple impact are in fact the companies of the future. So I'm sure Saiurys, with their passionate and very practical presentation, will convince you of that. So please do enjoy this very enlightening training. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Davis. Well said. At this time, Lucy Charrier, who is part of Frankfurt School team, will give us some information about the micropitch, and she will conduct a short survey.
Thank you, Yankee. Thanks a lot and welcome everyone. It's a great pleasure to have you all with us today. So we would like to now to know you better. So I will start a small poll and we will ask you just to answer a few questions on you, who you are, from where you are connected with us today, and your entrepreneurship, your business, in which sector you operate. So I will start now the poll. So please let me know in the chat, please, if you can see it. And we will start. So what we would like to know, the first question, okay, I see that in the chat you say you can see it, great. So please answer the questions. The first question is to know from which country you are connected tonight. It's what is very great with the virtual trainings, that we can be all together from different countries, from all the Caribbean region or other countries. So let us know from where you are, if you are from the Caribbean countries or from other countries as well. If you don't see your country in the list, please write it in the chat so we can know from where you are. Then we would like to know what is your gender, if you are male or female, and what is your age. Please let us know your age. And very important, your business. As entrepreneurs, we would like to know how long has been running your business. If it's a new business, you just started your business now, or if you have been, you have created your business a few years ago, 1 to 3 years, 4 to 6 years, or more than 10 years maybe. And then we would like to know as well the sector, in which sector you work. If you are from the tourism sector, we know that in the Caribbean region is very important. Services, trade, if tourism, as I said, public services, agriculture, or maybe you are a student. So please let us know. And then we will just give you a few minutes to fill in the survey, and then I will stop it and we will look at the results together. So just a few seconds. I give you a few more seconds to answer. 62, I see. I see someone saying from St. Vincent. Hello from there. So now, St. Kitts, Guyana. Wow, so good. So I will stop now. the poll and share the results with you. So let's look at the results. So in majority, you are connected from other countries. Oh, just please write in the chat so we know from where you are. But otherwise from Belize, a lot of people from Belize. Hello, Belize, 15%. From Jamaica, 12%. St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Trinidad and Tobago, Haiti. Bonjour Haiti, bienvenue avec nous. Grenada, Barbados. So thank you. It's very a great emotion for us to see that you are all connected from everywhere. So thank you for joining us today. In majority, we have women with us, 71%. In majority, you are between 33 and 60. As well, we have young people or younger from 18 to 33, and people still young as well, other 60. Your business has been operating in majority from 1 to 3 years. We have people as well, 23% of you have created their business in the last year. So it's very great and congratulations, because it's a great challenge to do that. And 15% have a business for more than 10 years. Very good. And in the sector, you are working 27% in agriculture or agro-industry. Very interesting. 20% in services, tourism, yeah, we know it's important, 80%, and 20% other. So please write as well in the chat so that we know you better. Thank you. Thank you for answering these questions. We are happy to know you better. I will stop sharing the results. And now I will share my screen to give you a small presentation of the MicroPitch. So please let me know if you cannot see my screen. So welcome to this third training session of the MicroPitch 22-23. As you know, the training of today is in sustainable entrepreneurship and business model. I will let then Saiurys explain everything to you. And just a small indication on Zoom. So this session is recorded and the recording will be available in our YouTube channel in the coming days. We will then, if you want to receive a certificate of attendance, if you have participated to the 3 training, please at the end of the training fill in a very small formula just with your name and your email address in the link we will send to you, so that we have your name and we can just send you in the coming days your certificate of attendance. During the presentation of the trainer, Saiurys and Ryan, please just mute yourself, but you will have the opportunity to ask all your questions during the presentation as well. Saiurys will give you some opportunities to participate, and then at the end we'll have a Q&A session. So we would like to have a very interactive session and to hear all your thoughts and comments. Please use the chat just to send your questions as well. So here are all our partners and sponsors. Yanqiu presented all the partners we have, the sponsors. So we would like to thank once more all the partners and the sponsors we have, because without them, it will not be possible to organize the MicroPitch. MicroPitch, as you may know, if you have participated to the previous editions or the previous sessions, training sessions, it's a business plan competition, which is combined with training, business support training for Caribbean entrepreneurs. And as Yves said at the beginning, it has been created in 2019 as part of the technical assistance program to the financial sector of the European Investment Bank. So here, this year and 22-23, it's the third edition of the MicroPitch. And we say that it's bigger than ever because for the first time, it's an edition which is for the full Caribbean region. And it will include, and it is very important, two separate business plan competitions, one for Dominican Republic in Spanish, and one for CARICOM countries in English, including Haiti in the CARICOM edition. And then we will have the regional finals on February 21st. You can already save the date. And it will be organized in Dominican Republic, but with a live transmission. So you can connect from all over the Caribbean region or every country in the world to participate to the regional finals. And during this regional finals, the winner of the business plan competition of Dominican Republic and the winner of the CARICOM business plan competition will compete, and a winner will be selected for the Caribbean region. So today is the third training of the training series, Sustainable Entrepreneurship Training Series. If you have not been able to participate to the previous trainings, but you would like to see them, the recording are available in our website and YouTube channel, Caribbean MicroPitch CB. Our trainer of today is Saiurys Bonnet, who is manager and founder of Una Vaina Verde. Saiurys will explain everything on this Vaina to you in the coming minutes. And we have a special guest as well, Ryan Bowen, who is the co-founder of Chocolate Mountain. And thank you, Saiurys and Ryan, for being with us today. We are very happy to have you with us. So the business plan competition is open for the CARICOM edition. So please go to our website and apply. The closing date for the applications is next Wednesday and February 1st. So you still have a few days to apply. And the regional finals, for the CARICOM edition will be on February 13th. So please save the date right now, and so that you can participate to these finals. So then why participate for you to the MicroPitch business plan competition? It will give you the opportunity to do networking, to meet, to attract new consumers, to have good visibility, to increase your sales, and to meet peers. So I saw that the winner of last year, Jody, is connected. So maybe we will give you, Jody, a few minutes at the end if you want to share your experience with all the participants of today. Thank you for being with us, Jody. So what are the prices for the CARICOM edition of the MicroPitch? We have a total value of prices of USD 20,000, which includes mentoring seed capital of 12,000, and as well for the winner, flight tickets and networking opportunities with entrepreneurs from Dominican Republic. So to participate to the regional finals in Dominican Republic. And then for the winner of the regional finals of the MicroPitch, the price is flight tickets to Guatemala to attend, and the entrance to attend to the 3-day annual conference of RedCamif, who is the Caribbean and Central American Microfinance Network. And they are waiting for more than 700 participants from the full region and from the world. And so you will have the opportunity to present your business in front of all the participants on the first day in the plenary session, and so that to meet potential partners and founders and do networking. So we just wait for you to apply now, and I will explain you a bit what is the process to apply. So you just have to go to the website of the MicroPitch. So here you have the website of the MicroPitch, and go there on register now. You can click then on apply to the MicroPitch business plan competition. Click here, and then you will have to fill in a form. It's a quite simple form. We just would like to know from you who you are, what is your business, and very important because it's the thematic of this year, why your business is sustainable, how it is sustainable, how it can have a positive impact on people and planet. So we have a few questions for you on that subject, and but it's quite easy to fill in the form. And then this is optional, but we encourage you to do that if you want to then post in your social networks with the hashtag MicroPitchCB that you are a candidate of the MicroPitch. So as I said before, the application will close on February 1st, so we just wait for you. Thank you. Thanks everyone from your attention. And if you have any question, just write that in the chat. And as I said, we'll have a Q&A session at the end. So we will be here to answer all your questions. Thanks everyone. Back to you, Yankyu.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Again, Lucy is a senior business development expert at the Frankfurt School of Finance and Management based in Germany. Thanks again, Lucy. And now we're off to the meat of the matter. To talk to us about the interesting topic, Saiurys Bonnet, I hope I pronounced the name correctly. She is the manager and founder of Una Vina Verde, and we will have one special guest, Ryan Bowen, who is co-founder of Chocolate Mountain. He will also be speaking a bit on sustainable business, and he will give a personal experience with his company. She will be speaking to us, that's Saiurys will be speaking to us on how we can have a sustainable business model, right? So thank you all for joining us. And without further delay, I leave you to Saiurys Bonnet. The floor is yours.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here and just read you guys. Like, I am the one that's gonna learn because you are from all over the region and you've been in this type of competition, so you are in path to change what is going on and to make it sustainable. I am Dominican from the Dominican Republic, just in case someone don't know, we are the neighbors of Haiti. And we're gonna be talking, as was mentioned, about sustainable entrepreneurship, but from a different perspective, because I don't know what you know about sustainability. And for me, it's so important that we have the same baseline and we build up on that. So if you have any question in any moment, please raise your hand using the Zoom tool that you have in the front panel, because I want to interact with you. I don't want to be talking just with myself, and especially because you all have the camera off and I feel alone if I don't talk to you guys. So let's get interactive to build knowledge together. To start, what is sustainability? Wait, Lucy mentioned that I was gonna mention what is Una Vaina Verde, so I need to start for that. Una Vaina Verde is my company, and vaina in the Dominican slang is like an stop, it's like a 10. So when we say we are gonna become green and everything can be Una Vaina Verde, we mean that everything can be greener if we think through the process that we are gonna be learning today, which is the triple bottom line and sustainability. That's what it means. What is sustainability? I want one of you to give me a definition. It's not wrong answers in here. So you can raise your hands if you want to give that definition. Let me check. This is an easy one. What is sustainability for you? Not the correct answer. Let me read. Okay, everyone can hear me good? Just to confirm that? Yeah? Okay, Fayola. I'm sorry if I pronounce any name wrong. English is not my native language, so my bad.
No,
Go ahead.
Good night. You did pronounce it correctly. It is Fayola. The English would call it Fayola, but it's actually Fayola. So well done. Sustainability for me would have to be in terms of utilizing products and ingredients that are not harming the environment, sourced from places that, well, will not cause like devastation or have a negative impact, using packaging that is probably made from recyclable material or is in fact recyclable. So that's what it is for me, trying to reduce the negative impact that I would have on the environment.
Thank you so much. Was an amazing answer. You for sure are related to the topic, so thank you for adding value to the session. I want to hear also Antonia, just to see what you have to add.
Hi, good night, everyone. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, well, as it relates to sustainability, for me is in regards to resources, and for us being able to maintain those natural resources in whatever way or shape or form. I'm an agro-processor, so, you know, dealing with plants and natural produce is something that I love, because if we're able to take care of ourselves, we're able to take care of our countries in some way or form. It doesn't matter how little it is. If I could just grow little peppers in my yard, I could share with my neighbors. That's a form of sustainability to me, you know. So that's what it is in terms of our natural resources, being able to maintain them and being able to help each other within our community with those resources. Yeah.
Love that definition. I love it, because you mentioned a keyword, which is maintain, and which is sharing. If we learn about the nature, we learn that everything can be grown and shared, and it's enough, and it's more than enough. But humanity makes it seem different. So we need to work on that. And in the chat, just to have another answer, Christopher raised the hand. Please, Christopher, go ahead.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
So I'm Christopher from Haiti. Sustainability for me is I can describe it as the way to use every resources that we have. That we have that we find in the nature, and be sure that we use them properly in order to make in order to give the chance or to create chance for the next generation to find the same chance as us, to how can I say, to take full advantage of these resources, and from generation to generation, from generation to generation. And yes, this is what I can say sustainability for me is.
Christopher, and you're correct, because your definition is almost the one more recognized Someone is talking to me. Guys, just to check, you're gonna be able to open the mic by yourself. So you need to check that all the time is in mute, because if not, we are gonna be hearing you and you're gonna be interrupted. So please have it on mute, except you have a chance to talk and to add value to the session. Thank you so much. So Christopher, the definition you gave was almost this one, which is the more recognized one globally, let's say, because it's the one coming from the Brundtland Commission from the United Nations back then. So meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The key part of this definition is to meet their own needs. This definition is not related to just take everything that you want and then put it in a place that the next generation can find it. It's not related to that. It's not, for example, just to give a funny example. It's not about fishing and then putting the fish in the fridge for next generation to leave the river able to have the water first and then the content for you to eat that. So it means that the next should be able to do what you are doing right now. So was amazing definition, but I need to say that for Una Vaina Verde, which is my company, and for me, I prefer to talk about sustainability from the triple bottom line impact, because it's easier to identify if it's been sustainable really, but if it's just greenwashing, which is trying to look sustainable but not being sustainable. I don't know if you're familiar with the greenwashing term, but a lot of companies, a lot of governments, a lot of people even are trying to look green just to have that image. But in the back, they are not doing the work that needs to be done to be able to act accordingly to that sustainability they are talking about. So when we talk about the triple bottom line, we talk about people, planet, and profit, the 3 Ps. So people means that whatever you're doing as a business, because now we're going to be talking about business, help someone in any specific way. That someone can be your work kids, should be your work kids, first of all, as the key and main stakeholder, but can be the communities around you, the clients that are receiving your service or product. The profit means that whatever you're doing as a business model needs to be profitable, needs to make money or reduce the money that you're spending. If not, it's just philanthropy. And we're not gonna be talking about philanthropy. I don't care if you like to give, that's not my business. You can keep giving because there is a lot of need around us outside. But when we talk about business, we are looking for the money in return. And the investors are going to be looking for it. And you need to live out of your business, especially if it's sustainable, because I don't want you to be thinking about a regular 8 to 5 job to be able to have the salary and then not have time to build the business that is going to have an amazing impact in the world. So the money needs to be in place. For me, is the first topic to talk about sustainability. And the third P is the planet, because we need to be able to use the resources that we have, because the natural resources are there for us to use as one of the species in the ecosystem, but also for the other species to use. So you need to do something that take care of the resources and guarantee that those resources are gonna still there, because your main goal should be that your business keep growing with the time. So if you're basing your business on something that's gonna disappear, your business is also gonna disappear, if that makes sense for you guys. So for me, it's important to work all the time with people, profit, and planet, and think through that filter, because everything, when it's put in the table and you try to put them in place, is gonna become stronger and better. Do you agree with me? I wanna read you in the chat. Make sense? Let me check. Yeah, I am also reading that few of you shared your definition of sustainability. Thank you all, because when I stopped, I had the chance to go to the chat and to read it. You did great. Yes. Yeah, the ones that are sharing their thoughts agree. So that's important because we are going to be talking about sustainability, and sustainability is this to me and to what we are going to be talking about: people, profit, and planet. The next question that I have for you is, do you think sustainability is related to the biocapacity? Do you know what biocapacity is? If one of you know, please raise the hand to share that definition with all, just in case someone don't know what biocapacity is. If not, I'm gonna give it to you guys. Someone knows the definition or what biocapacity means? I'm not seeing any hand yet. So I will assume, yeah. Aaron, can you open the mic? I want to hear you, please. I would love that. If not, I can read your answer. Let me know if you're able to open the mic in the situation you're at.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I said it's the amount of resources nature can exhaust, for lack of better words.
Yeah,
so,
thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, because biocapacity is, if we think about nature and natural resources, like a mom, like a dad, like a family, or like a fridge. Let's keep it material to not get into emotions right now. Like a fridge, your fridge, the place in which you put your food. The biocapacity is how many food can your fridge storage? How much food can you put in there? If you buy a lot and then you're gonna put it in there, it's gonna get out, right? And it's gonna go wrong. That's a way to see it. If you wanna see it from the perspective of, we have a space, we have an ability to do something, and we are trying to do more than that. The biocapacity is the capacity to the nature, to the land, to put just one of the examples, to grow something, to be alive, to give you something in general, overall, as Earth. So the capacity of the Earth to give you is the biocapacity of the Earth. And if we talk about sustainability, it's completely related, as most of you mentioned in the chat, because our footprint, you need to compare it with the biocapacity. Your footprint is what you are asking for to the nature. What you're asking for, your food, your clothes, your house, your energy, your waste management system, everything that you are asking for, that you are willing to buy, or you are receiving for free, water, oxygen, all of it is part of your footprint. And the biocapacity is what is in total there available for you to take from. If we think about it from a bank account example, the biocapacity is all the money that you have in the bank. And your footprint is how much you're gonna need from that bank account. If you're going to the bank to ask for more money than what you have, what do you think the cashier is gonna tell you? Maybe it's gonna make fun of you. Maybe a manager job say, you know, you didn't have enough. So come on, go back to the store and then make money. It's the same happening, but the earth is not talking to us. That's the difference, that we are asking for more than what we as planet are able to grow. If I give you data, because I love to work with numbers, I came from a international business background, and after I did sustainable development and social responsibility. So for me, as a person, sustainability needs to be related with numbers in return on investment and also in data. So if we look at this graph, we're gonna see that during the years, we are having all that the planet has to us in less time and less time and less time. The Earth overshoot day, which means the day we eat everything that we were going to eat during the whole year, was July. So that means if everyone consume like you, assuming that you are the one taken into consideration for this analysis, we need 1.75 Earth. And you know what? We just have one. So we are doing something wrong related to natural resources that we need to fix. And one way to fix it is through sustainable business models, which are the ones that are gonna be able to keep making money, because all of us want to be rich. If you don't, I'm sorry, I want to, but I want to be rich in a way that is responsible with the natural resources around me, with the planet, and also is responsible and give back to so many people involved in me making money in the process. So we are able to do that. And for me, it's important that you add like into your notes a task. We are gonna give you something to do. I want you to calculate your footprint, your ecological footprint, because it's difficult for us to realize that we are asking for more than what nature is able to give us if we don't know how much we're asking for. So this application is pretty easy to use. I can share the link when I'm done in the chat, but it's gonna allow you to answer a few questions related to your routines, to your habits, and then the result is gonna be how many planets do we need if all of us consume the way you do. So for example, in this result, this person needs 3.9 planet Earth. And as I mentioned, we just have one. So this is why we don't have equilibrium. And this is why we still have so many people that everything that we have as a planet is not shared equally. And that is not just related to our economic model system, it's related to politics, it's related to our investors, because the people that have the money are putting the money in places that shouldn't be. But you need to be the ones that earn that money, that pitch a business model that are able to capture their attention, because you're gonna be talking about money, which is what they want, but also you're gonna be talking about more than money, which is an added value that you're gonna have in your value proposition. So it's gonna make you be above the rest that are just talking about money. That's the main goal. Till now, do you have any question? If you do, please raise your hand. Or write it in the chat. Yeah, Bradley. Biocapacity is an estimate of the amount of resources that the Earth can naturally produce. You're right, completely right. Anyone have any question? I assume everything is been clear. I'm sorry for my lack of English and technicism, my bad. But you can ask, double ask if you don't get anything, or if you will have any specific question. All is well, thank you. So let's keep going. Now, after we know that we are being consuming more than what the planet is able to give, and after we know that we need to act, because knowing a problem and just staying with the knowledge is kind of irresponsible from us. So when we do know something, especially if it's something related to our life and to the life of the next generation, we need to do something and to see what is under our scope. So what we can do to reduce our footprint is at least to start thinking about the R's. Most of the people know the 3 R's, but I like to talk about the 5 because it's kind of easier for the brain to think through this process if it's in this order. I have been validating it. So first of all, you need to reduce whatever you don't need. Most of the time, we receive things that we know from the beginning that we are not going to use, we are not going to need, we are not going to even keep, and we receive it. And that doesn't make sense. And that applies to things that we buy and we spend our money on, but also to things that we receive for free. For example, in a network meeting, most of the people start exchanging cards. That's normal, that's etiquette. That's what you should do in a networking meeting, especially if it's business networking. But most of us nowadays don't use the physical cards. We don't keep them. We don't look for them when we're gonna call someone. We just take it, and usually we take a picture and put it in a place, or we write a number down and we save it in our smartphones as a contact. So if any way you're not gonna use that business card, just write down the number right away and then give it back, or use the technology that we have in our hands right nowadays, the Slack card or any device that allow you to put it closed and has an NFC mechanism that when you put it closed, then the contact is transferred. So we can do that, or just have a QR code that you give to the people and they scan it and they're gonna have your contact. Or just ask for your email address and put it in a list, and then you send an email hitting the people out, like, hey, I'm the person we made, here are my contacts. And I can guarantee that if your intention is to be in mind and to be like, and for the people to remember you, it's gonna be easier using a different method. So when you reach someone through email, usually they read emails when they're checking. So they're gonna read it. If they're gonna ask you a further question, they're gonna do it in a moment. There you have the link. Let me read Marie, public transportation or carpool. For example, this is a way we can reduce our footprint. Terry says, when I display products at events, I usually print one large business card and ask people to take a photo. I need to create a QR code too. Amazing. That's what it means. So the first R is refuse. Refuse everything that you don't need. Refuse everything. Someone is giving you a pair of shoes and don't fit you. Come on, don't take them. Especially if you're not thinking already in someone that you're gonna give it to. Don't take them. Most of us take home a lot of things that we never use. And then after 5 years of having it in the house, when we clean it and we do that cleanup that to give back, then we start thinking, no, maybe now I'm gonna use it. And we try it on sometimes. Now fit me. Now I like it more. I forget about this piece, and we leave it in the house for 5 years more. So please don't do that and refuse. The second R is reduce. Reduce whatever you're doing right now, reduce it. If you're going using the car to any place, even the one closer to your house, think, am I able to walk those 2 blocks? Yeah, so let's go by walking. Am I eating a lot of meat, especially the ones coming from agricultura extensiva, extensive agriculture? Then let's start thinking about reducing it, because that type of agriculture is having an amazing impact, a huge impact in environmental issues because of the way they produce the meat, the way they produce the resources. It's not related to the resources itself, because if you have a cow and it's in your yard, eat it. It's not any problem with it. You're taking care of it. It's free. Come on, eat it. But if you are eating from processes, methodologies, land, businesses that because of their methodologies that they are degrading our land, our resources, then think about reducing. So if you eat meat 3 times a day, you start thinking about 2. There is an international movement about not eating meat on Monday. Doesn't matter the day. You can choose Saturday. It's your decision. But think about it. The third R is repair. Sometimes we do have amazing stuff that are just break in one part and we throw it away and buy a new one when we are able to repair them. There is a lot of people that work in those type of repairing industries. Come on, let's give them something. Let's give them job, because then we feel like, oh, there is no any, there is not there. I cannot find anyone that can fix my shoes, for example. Of course, no one is asking for fixing their shoes nowadays. All of us are throwing them away because it's so cheap to buy them. But that so cheap come from fast fashion, which is also having a huge impact and is costing us as humanity, is costing other species that are in their place, not even dealing with us, a huge negative impact. So we need to think about repair and take the most of what we already bought, what we already have, to make them last longer and not go straight to the landfills. That's the main goal. The fourth one is reuse. If you have something for a specific use, you can change the use to a different one just to give them another life. For example, this glass used to be a rum bottle. Now it's a glass. You just need to send it to a provider or even do it yourself if you are into and cut it. And then it's a glass in my house and was a bottle. And then comes recycle. Look, it's important for me that you get that recycling is not gonna solve any problem. If we keep thinking about producing problems because we are gonna solve it by recycling, then we have a huge problem. We need to start thinking about redesign whatever we are doing that are already creating problems to not create that problem in the first place. Because why we need to spend energy in solving a problem that we are able to solve from the beginning, to just create an alternative to not have that problem. And then if you're gonna go farther, regenerate is an amazing thing we need to do. Sustaining what we are doing right now is not sustainable anymore. So we need to start thinking about regenerate, which means help the land, help the natural resources grow faster than the speed we've been asking them anything for us. It's like allow them to grow faster than what we need. For example, with the wood, it's not that you cannot have anything from wood in your house. Come on, the resources are there. The trees grow, and they grow, and we can use them. So what you need, if you're related to the wood industry, what you need to check is that you are putting back trees, planting trees faster than the way you are cutting them. That's all it takes to be sustainable. Think about, let me be sure and let me put back what I know I'm gonna need, because I want to keep way more than what I need to cut, and then we're gonna be okay. The problem nowadays is that we are not thinking about that. We are just asking for a lot, even things that we don't need, and we are not giving anything back in many ways. So for me, it's important that we start using the others, starting from refuse, because if you can solve a problem without having it, go for it. It's like, let me make a funny joke. It's like if someone is drunk, I hope everyone here is an adult. If someone is drunk and you know is drunk and is trying to look for problems, come on, are you gonna pay attention to that person? No. If you're smart enough, you're gonna just avoid that person. You're gonna just go away. So do the same with resources that you don't need, with things that you don't need. Put them away, then pay attention to them. Someone is giving you a bottle and you know you have your bottle And the one that you have is the one that you like, and you're not gonna use the different one because you have yours. Why you have 3 bottles in your house? Give those two to someone that doesn't have. Let's start thinking and going through that mindset, and we're gonna help a lot. Do you have any question? You can raise your hands now. I'm paying attention to it. Or any specific comment that you want to share? Because if not, I am feeling alone right now, so I need to hear voices. So you are the ones that start the Zoom session and then go eat. Okay, no, you are not. So you're here.
We're here.
We're here. The ones that start the session and then go to do laundry. No, you're here, right?
Intensity to whatever you're saying. It's so interesting.
Thank you so much. So you're here. I wonder if you can share, would your company have used some of the, I would love to do it. Let me check if we're gonna have time when we are done with the main topic, which is gonna be the business model is coming next, and then we can share, and we're gonna have a Q&A session, so I can answer about what my company is doing, and also Ryan is gonna share what his company is doing. There is a business in Antigua who uses the water bowls on the water bowls and stuff. It's just toilet paper. Amazing. That's really cool. Thank you for sharing, Aneta or Anta. This encourages our creativity. Yeah. Because if you're here, I'm glad. If you have any specific question, you can raise your hands. If not, I'm gonna keep going. Thank you, Carol. You're here too. Okay, let me keep going. So that was the introduction, a bit long, but it's important to be based in good fundamentals. And for me, it's important that you are going to be remembering that sustainability is not about philanthropy. It's not about giving few notebooks when the school year is going to start. It's not related to make a road when your industry is related to something else. It's not related to give a bag of food to someone because he's poor. It's not related to that. That's philanthropy and so most of the time clientelismo. But sustainability is related to have a triple bottom line impact: profit, planet, and people. Is that clear? If you don't have the money talk into your sustainability idea, then it's not sustainable. I don't want you to spend time and not receiving anything back. I want you to be rich out of the amazing socioeconomical impact, positive impact you're going to be having in the world, in your countries, in your companies, in your localities. I think of having a business 10 years in the future, like Boams in India. Yeah, that's the way. We need to want a business that can sustain their self and can keep growing based on resources that we're gonna still have in there. Very interesting, Anja. Yeah, you also eating. I knew you. Most of you are eating, but it's okay for me. It's okay if you keep listening to me. Okay, let's keep going. So, for me, it's important to talk about business, and as an international business degree and the sustainability coming after, I prefer to work with business tools because there is a lot of talk about sustainability, but most of them stay in theory and then none of them are being implemented. So the business model, first, do you know what business model is? Before I gave you the straight answer, just to hear any insight. If one of you want to participate, raise your hand. Yeah, Antonia, let me know. Antonia, go ahead. We cannot hear you yet.
Could you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I've had a little experience with the business model canvas. It's just basically an outline, basically in terms of mapping your business that makes it easy in terms of how you could present your business to someone. It also keeps you from straying a little too much, because sometimes we would have a lot of ideas, and not saying that all ideas are not good, but what is necessary in terms of the business. So a business model canvas helps to streamline your business in a way that you're able to pitch to someone, or they could see it at a first glance in terms of the 9 pillars. How does your business actually run, and how could it produce profit, and where you're going to meet those goals based on what you would have outlined in the 9 pillars.
Okay, now I have something to say to Eve and Lucy. Please write down Antonia Wall name, and next year hire her to give this training, because she is completely right. Okay. Thank you, Antonia. You did perfect.
You're welcome.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, so as Antonia mentioned, the business model canvas is that. It's a visual presentation of your business model, but it's highlighting all key strategic factors. So the bullshit is outside. There is the core information. What the ones with the money in their pockets want to hear and have that time to hear to give you that money. And you have few minutes to share it, to present it. Another definition is a tool that summarizes your business model on one sheet. Let me check if someone want to talk to you, or just a mic is open. Okay, I think a mic was open. Perfect. So it's a visual structure that helps you present the business model and be focused on something, because we are so passionate about many things. As entrepreneurs, we are so passionate. Not everyone starts something from an idea, come on, with a lot of social pressure telling you to keep your regular job and to stick to the salary and to not go crazy and to not do many things, It's like, if you want to be focused, this is an amazing tool that's going to help you. But there is a variation of the regular business model canvas, which is the sustainable business model canvas. And the only difference in this one is that, in addition to the economic criteria, focuses also in ecological and social consequences of your activity and how you're going to solve the problem you were going to create. Because when you include that in your business model, you are going to be prepared, first of all, to say it, and second of all, to pitch a business that is not just talking about money. I'm not just one other business idea. I'm a sustainable one. I'm also talking about the important topics are nowadays in the hot topic, if it's just because of that, because everyone is talking about it. That's not the important part, but also counts. And you're gonna be talking in a serious way, because you're taking it into a consideration, real consideration, and including that problem and that solution to have a better risk management, which is gonna help you in the business. Therefore, sustainability is this type of business model canvas is an integrate into the core. The sustainability in this one is integrated into the core business. So the sustainability is not outside. Sometimes the companies have a sustainability department or social responsibility one, or worse, the human resources department do the sustainability part, or the communication and marketing department do the sustainability one, which is worse. But most of the companies have that type of a structure. In your companies, in your ideas, in MicroPitch competition, I want you to just not talk about business model and then adding something that looks like philanthropy and looks like brainwashing. I want you to present a sustainable business model that include itself the social cost, the environmental cost, and how you're gonna be addressing that. That's the main goal. I'm going to put a video that explain in a few minutes, I think seconds, what the business model canvas is. Wait a moment. Stop sharing, and then I need to start sharing, but with the share sound. Okay, let me check. Can you see the YouTube right now?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
And also, can you hear it?
No, it's very low. Nothing's got, I don't
You
hear
can.
nothing.
I think it's happening again. Anyways, if you are not able to hear it, then it doesn't make sense for me to share it. I can just share the link.
For the moment, we cannot hear it. Can you put it louder just to check?
Let me see.
Can you press play?
It's playing it right now. If you not hear it, maybe the sound is not working with Zoom.
Oh.
It's playing because we saw it like in, but it's not playing. It's paused, the video.
It's not working. Let's not lose time on that. I'm gonna explain it to you in detail, and I can share the link through the Zoom chat for you to see it after. It's okay. Let me go to the presentation. Can you see back the presentation?
Yes, it's fine.
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna share the video for you to refresh, but I'm gonna explain it. No. Wait. Okay. I just press the click again. Okay. So this is the sustainable business model canvas. The 9 boxes Antonia was talking about, which are those ones. And in this variation, let's say, we have 2 other boxes. In this one mentioned eco-social costs and eco-social benefits. My personal opinion is that I prefer for you to divide it socio-economical impact and environmental impact. If you don't know your impact, then you're gonna ask yourself and your business the question. If I don't know the positive impact I'm having, then I need to check the negative impact I'm having and solve it. If I cannot solve it, change something to not have the impact, then I'm gonna try to compensate it. But in principle, we're gonna be explaining all the boxes, because I don't know if all of you have seen the tool, and for me it's important that you understand the tool. For the ones that already know the tool, that's gonna be just to go again. First of all, I would love if you start this tool interpretation with the value proposition, because that's what makes you different. If you don't know why you're different and why the client need to pay you, should choose you above all of the other alternative competition options, then you shouldn't be doing that business. Because if you don't know, then you are not gonna be able to communicate why they need to choose you. So the value proposition is why you? Why you? Why they need to pick you? Then you're gonna be having, when you receive, I'm gonna share this template link also for you to read in details what the main questions that help you come up with the correct answer. But I'm gonna go to the specific information in each box that when I review entrepreneurs' business model, I realize that are the most common mistakes. So I'm gonna point and highlight that. The value proposition is the why someone needs to put their money on your business. Why pick you? Why choose you? Why the investor should select you? Why MicroPitch should make you the winner of this year competition? That's the answer I wanna read there. And if you check, those are boxes that all of them are in just one page. So you're not gonna be talking blah, 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 and just words and an amazing phrasing. I don't want that. I don't care about that. I want to have their bullet points that have the key information for you to talk about that to someone that don't know you, don't have any intention to hear you, and don't have any intention to give you their money. So with that information in mind, it's kind of reach to the top, it's like, oh my God, I know that person that doesn't have any time for me, don't care about me, and don't want to support me, but I want them to want that. So the value proposition should answer that. Then you have another box, which has the key activities. Key activities is not tasks for you. It's not, I need to send the email, I need to prepare the presentation, I need to follow up on the presentation I sent. It's not your job. It's the key activities that for your business are the main things that need to happen for you to deliver that product or service with the quality that you determine to the client that are putting their money into you. So what needs to happen for you, for the client to have your product or service in their hand? What needs to happen? You need to create a structure. You need to have a team. You need to create a product that you're going to develop out to developers. You need to come up with what? And then those main key activities are going to have their own children, let's say. They're going to have their own tasks. But in here, in this tool, I want you to keep it into the key, the material ones, the important ones. In key resources, you're going to put what you need to be able to deliver the product or service. What you need is who's going to do it? You? Then you need you, the human resources. You need to have it in a specific temperature because it can go bad. Then you need a fridge or something. You need to have any specific delivery because you need to be given back and forward something. Then you need or a motorcycle or a car or a provider of that service. So in key resources are the things that you need to make it work. And that thing is not just material things. And that thing include what you are putting for free because it's your business and because you are putting everything into that. Because sometimes your work is not shown in the page. And if you and the work you're putting are not showing the page, also the money is not gonna show in your pocket. So it's kind of clear like that. If you're not in the picture, then the money's not gonna go into your pocket because you're not there. So who's gonna pay you for what? You're not adding any value. I don't see you in my page. I don't see you in my business model. So come on, go away. Just work for free for the whole life and don't realize you're working for free. Key resources, the things that you need. And key partners, the people, the companies, the associations, the established organizations are gonna help you to reach those clients and to have the product or service that you're gonna have for the clients and to reach the clients easier. For example, what's key partner? If I'm developing a hair product, then a key partner is a scientist that know how to put the correct ingredients into the correct proportions to come up with a good product that don't have any negative impact on your skin, for example, because then the product is going to go wrong. And to work with reputation after mistakes or not having key partners, especially, it's pretty difficult to work with cleaning reputation. So have good partners to have good products to reach good clients. Those are the key partners that I want you to keep in mind. In the other side of the whole page, we have the customer segment. Those are the clients. The people are gonna be willing to pay you, to give you the money. Keep something in mind. I'm talking about the one paying. I'm not talking about receiving or using the product or service, because sometimes we mix that up. For example, in this session, in this training, my client are not you. My client is the European Investment Bank, the Frankfurt School, and their partners, the ones that are putting their money to pay me. Those are my clients, the ones that hire me for this training. You are my beneficiaries. You're the one receiving what I'm giving. But in this box, I want you to keep in mind that we are talking about the ones that have their money in their pocket and the money that you want in your. So the person is gonna pay, the group is gonna pay, the organization, the type of organization, the type of companies. And when you have that, I want you to try to describe it, not just say big companies. Come on, everyone want to work with companies. Big companies means most of the time, not all the time, big budgets, and I want that money. That doesn't say anything to your business. It's specific. Companies from which sector, that are working with what, that work that values, that are looking for what, that want to do what, and what they want to pick you. So try to come with a clear customer segment. And after you have that clear customer segment, you're gonna need to establish what are the type of relationships you're gonna have with them. How you wanna reach them. How you're gonna get in contact with them. And after you establish the methodologies, the channels you're gonna be using to do that. But first of all, you need to have the client, and then how you're gonna relate, have relations with them, and then the channels you're gonna use. If we go in the above part, then we have the cost structure. The cost is everything that you need to pay. Everything. Everything in the ideal scenario. As entrepreneurs, we tend to not put in cost what we are doing, what we are having, what we add to the business, because it's our business. So for us, it's kind of difficult to put, for example, a price in the internet I'm using for this conference because I'm now in this moment doing it from my home and not from the office. You are using your internet. You are using your gas when you move to meet with a client. You are using your time, which should have a value by hour in the ideal scenario. So you have costs. That doesn't mean the money needs to be here for you to start, but you need to have a debt. Your company, your business need to have a debt to you, because you are putting that not as a specific money that you can see, but you are spending something that has value, and that value, no one, including you, is putting it into the picture. So avoid that mistake and put in the cost structure everything. Your money is helping you out, and is the delivery person to give you products, or to go to an stand to sell, or to go to a conference to pay to talk about your product to different people. Then you should have an amount assigned to your mom because she is doing a task, a job that is helping the business. Because if it's not your mom, no one is going to do it for free. So if it's not you, someone is going to charge you for it. So keep that in mind and put in cost everything. Your time, your resources, your services, everything that you're using. And I'm gonna talk about the above line together. And in the revenue streams, you need to put everything that can give you money back. In cost, what you are given to the business. In revenue, what the business is giving to you. What are the income generators? Is just the selling of your product or service really? Think through it. Most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, we are limiting our income generation because we are just looking at our product. We're not looking at, for example, a lot of people are willing to have an ad on your page, on your web page, for you to have them, to have their flyer, their logo. So why not to sell those spots? A lot of people are willing to have you as a speaker in their events. So why not charge for you to speak on those events? A lot of people want your product to be sold in a different region. Why not to have a partner in a different region to do that? And then you have a cost because that person is gonna do the job, but you're gonna have an income because it's your product that went into the negotiation. So think through the many possibilities in which you can make money out of the same business, because that's gonna help you to be sustainable in the time. Pandemic teach you a lot. Teach you that if we have all the eggs in one box, we may lose it. So we need to learn from that experience to have different incomes. And your business should have different incomes coming from the same business model, coming from the same effort, but different income generators. And the last part, which is the bottom part, is the sustainable part. What are the costs, the socio-economical costs, socio-economical or environmental costs you are creating? You're using resources for sure. All of us have impact. We now breathing, we're having an impact. If you don't want to have impact, then okay, that's not a suggestion I should do, but I'm gonna go ahead, kill yourself, and then come and be compost for the land again. Trying to not have an impact is absurd. What you need to look for is to have the minimum impact, negative impact possible, and the maximum positive impact possible. That's the main goal we should have in our business. So if you have environmental impact because you're gonna have it, then look for that impact and try to come up with ideas and alternatives to reduce them. For example, packaging. Staying with the same example, hair products. You're gonna create a hair products line. You have a hair products line. How about a package that people can reuse? How about a package people can return to you and you can reuse? And you can reduce the cost and the client are not gonna be generating waste. Your company is not gonna be generating waste because you're reusing the same bottle. If it's not possible, then how about a material that at least you can take to the collection points that are gonna end up in recycling processes? At least you should look for that type of containers, because if not, your container from the product you're creating is gonna go to the landfill to create a problem that is gonna be part of your footprint and is part of your responsibility, extended responsibility as a producer, because you are the one creating that problem. You are the one making money out of creating a problem. So you are the one that should be responsible to solving the problem, or in the first place, to avoid the problem. And this is what you're gonna be thinking through when you think about your environmental impact to come up with your environmental solution. And that environmental solution should be in your pitch. My product help with this, or avoid this, because it's doing this, and this. The same with socio-economical impact. What are you doing for your employees, for the people around you, for your clients? Your product is something that is gonna make them worse, it's gonna make their health worse. Come on, you do better, you can do better. I know you can. I know all of you can. I already read your messages. I already know the way you talk. I already know how passionate you are. I read few of your ideas. You can do better. So come up with a better business idea to have a better and a strong business model that are gonna help you make money and also have the low impact possible, environmental impact possible, and the positive impact, socio-economical impact that you may have and you want to have and you can have, because if you work through it and you think through it, you can do it. For example, most of the companies that are trying to look green, to do social responsibility projects, to have social responsibility business lines, are the ones not paying even fair to their employees. Come on, you're giving money outside your company, and to the ones are creating them money you're giving outside. You're not even paying them fair. Just talking about the payment, which is the topic that most of the people think about, just the money, but how about the treatment? Do you treat the employees with respect? Did you give them growth opportunities? Did you listen to them? Did you care about them? About the community you are in? Shouldn't be just money, but shouldn't be just socioeconomical, shouldn't be just environmental, because if it's not the three parts integrated, then it's gonna be weak and it's not gonna last. That's a fact. So keep that in mind. Work with this tool. I'm gonna share the link in a few minutes when Ryan is presenting the case, the Chocolate Mountain case, for you to try to come up with a strong business model from the company, the business idea you're working with. And pay attention to something. You shouldn't just use this tool when you're creating something, when you are coming up with an idea. You can evaluate your own business few times in a year or in the amount of time you establish, just to validate you are on track. Because most of the time, if we're the one leading our businesses, we tend to just be too involved in the operative management, and we forget to look from the above to see how my business look like, if my client change, if I'm not taking advantage from a key partner, if I am not using properly a key resources that I do have, or if I need something to be able to reach more clients, or to have a better value proposition, or to charge more and have more revenue, or to reduce my cost. So if I'm not evaluating these key activities in time, I may be losing opportunities. Maybe. Most of the time is a fact. So think about that and do the exercise, do the homework. Did you understand? Let me have the moment to read the chat. I have been forgetting about you, so I am not feeling alone because I have been talking. And I want to hear if you have any question about the specific tool. Multiple sources of income from a business model. An example would be great. For a product company, the refill makes more sense for me than to sending bottles back because I can reuse bottles scratch. Yeah. Okay, Valentino, that I'm reading the comments now. So I don't know in which moment was 7:27. It's written. So I can come up with an example. For example, about multiple resources of income. If you do come up with an idea about making bottles, let's say your product is the bottle. So you're gonna be basing your business model in the selling of a bottle. Product sales, easy, traditional business. But how about if you think, hey, are people willing to pay me to personalize the bottle? Yeah, so I can charge for that. Are people willing to have a different shape of the bottle and have their own brand, but I am the one making that brand for them? Yeah, maybe they're willing to. Are people willing to pay for me to teach how they can make their own bottles? Maybe yes. I can come up with a workshop about teaching how to make bottles. I don't think a person that pays a workshop to learn as a hobby, as an activity, is gonna become your competitor. And if it does, then you hire it as a supplier, and then you come up with bigger and different structures. Is that mindset about thinking out of the box and trying to come up with incomes that are gonna guarantee that you're gonna be sustainable, even though the bottle sales are not in the best mood, are not in the way you thought they will be. You're gonna be having options. That's what I mean, Valentino. Let me know if that clarifies to you. So Shireen says, oh my God, I was going to speak Spanish. For a hair product company, the refill makes more sense for me than them make sense is bottles back. Yeah, makes completely sense. If their client bring the bottle to you, then you fill it, and you then have that transportation cost of taking a product empty and then taking it back full. That's amazing. That's thinking through sustainability. You did it. Let's check if it's triple bottom line. Is sustainable? Yes, because you are reducing the cost, the transportation cost. Is environmental friendly, sustainable? I mean, profitable? Yeah. Is helping the environment? Yes, because you are not asking for any other resources to have the same client. And that does give benefits to the people that use it. Yes, because you're gonna be teaching them how to think. They're gonna be doing and thinking through the same process in other aspects of their lives. Investing according your values, yes. Beneficial to have multiple sustainable revenue streams, yes. A lot of creativity, isn't it? Yeah, the creativity is key. And we do have a lot of creativity. So for me, it's important for you to know that this tool is in here and is in here for you to use, not to just know that exists, for you to sit down. Most of the people like to write down to come up with a clear brain. If you are that style, print it. If not, do it digitally, but do it. So now I'm done. And my question is, what is your commitment for today? Because I hope you find any value in the grand talk we are having. And I want to know what you're committing today. Please write it down in the chat. If you want to keep learning about what we do in Una Vaina Verde, you can look on YouTube. We do have videos, interesting conversations that may be interesting for you. And also you can follow us on Instagram. It's at Una Vaina Verde. The same in other social media, but the mainly active is Instagram for us to keep in contact. And remember that esta vaina la cambiamos juntos, which means we're gonna change this chat together. And that implies you need to be involved. So do your part. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Ryan, thank you, my pleasure. Now, to not just be talking about topics in theory, I bring my special guest, which is Ryan Bowen, which is the co-founder of a project called Chocolate Mountain. And I want you to just check the project and to learn how they are implementing sustainability for you to come up with ideas that can work also for your business model.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Saiurys, for a wonderful presentation. Can everyone hear me? Maybe you can give me just a quick thumbs up. I think I'm unmuted. Great. What an honor to be surrounded with the entire region. I'm here in the Dominican Republic along with Saiurys, and I'm here to tell you about our venture, which is Chocolate Mountain. First off, a little bit about myself. I think you can all see me there as well with the presentation. Hopefully everything's working out fine. Well, my name is Ryan Bowen, and as it may sound, it's not maybe a Dominican typical name. So I came here as an exchange student in 2007 to spend a semester abroad, and have been living here ever since 2011. I'm a multifaceted professional. I have a degree in religious studies, Spanish cultural literary studies, and then I ended up getting a master's in business administration here in the Dominican Republic in international business. So I've been kind of all over the place in that sense from my academic and professional career. And I developed through audiovisual production, photography, videography, and social entrepreneurship. And the project now that we've been embarking upon, Chocolate Mountain, commercially has been going on for about 1 year. And it's been in a community where we've been developing that are cocoa producers for the past 10 years, actually. So who are we? Well, Chocolate Mountain is a wellness space that came into you could say fruition during the pandemic. You know, sometimes we have to thank society and the world and the circumstances for the curveballs that are thrown at us, and find a way to come out on top. And for me, it was spending much more time in a cacao farm that we had purchased years back, and we started to develop it with the express goal of creating a wellness space where others can enjoy and connect with nature, learn about rural life, the land, and its fruits. We offer accommodation experiences through agritourism, as well as the commercialization of local artisanal products. We also have an experience, so it's you can see it as kind of twofold through the experiential elements and the commercial side of the products. So on the service side, we offer an experience that is a chocolate tour, in which individuals walk through our organic cocoa farm, which is in Rio Grande Abajo in the province of Puerto Plata. And from the hands of local cacao producers, everyone learns about the process of planting, harvesting, fermenting, drying, and roasting of the cacao. The tour ends with a hands-on experience in which visitors make their own artisanal cacao balls. So you can see folks there, we put them into the cacao plantations to harvest them themselves, and they learn from the very inception to the final product of chocolate. And I included this picture here because I really appreciate this concept of sustainability so much as the triple bottom line. And I find that the Chocolate Mountain, for us, we're following what we would consider a quadruple bottom line. So you can see there's 4 cacao gourds right there. What would be the additional P, as Yves began describing, people, profits, planet? Well, we would consider the culture as another purpose behind it all. And so part of our goal here is that not only will we make an economic model that is profitable for ourselves and our community, we also want to do an effort to rescue culture that is getting lost. In the case of cacao, the average life age of a cacao producer right now is 65 years old in the Dominican Republic. And that's the average producer's age. So that means that I have neighbors, next door neighbors from our farm, who are in their mid 80s or even in their 90s, and they're still working in the cacao plantations. So for everyone that's 30 or 40, it means that there's really no youth that are engaged in the cacao production anymore. And this is a major concern because we need to have a cultural relay and a generational relay for such a valuable product. The Dominican Republic is #1 worldwide in organic cacao exportation. And so while we may pale in comparison with West Africa for the entire scale of cacao, our cacao is organically grown. And the majority of what is sent as organic is organic certified. And that means that we're taking care of the planet through the cacao production methods. However, that issue with the generational relay is very present. So we want to create dynamic enterprises that will encourage the youth to also engage, and we can provide employment through the dynamic activities that we have engaged upon. Some of those are experiential, like the cacao tour. You can see our from all ages get to participate in the harvest and the transformation of the cacao fruit into chocolate. We also provide hotel accommodation kind of services through our cabins. We call them glamping cabins. It's one of the modalities of the tourism industry that has really been taking off. And we started to develop multiple cabins. This one in particular is called La Choza, or the hut. And it was developed very much inspired by the historical Taino indigenous peoples' methods of construction. So from the house, the roofing structure, using the palm thatch, even using locally sourced wood in the framing of the building itself. That is one of our other goals, is through the architectural methods to be not only sustainable, but to give an honor to the historical traditional forms of architecture as well. Here's a little glimpse of the space that we're mentioning. The farm is entirely surrounded with vegetation, as many cacao farms are. We believe that chocolate, or cacao, and its production can really be a major beneficial environmental product, because it's grown in shade and it's also grown in a biodiverse kind of environment. So you not only have cacao, which from the naked eye as a cacao producer now, I can recognize maybe 25% of what you see is cacao. You're seeing palm trees, you're seeing colorful amapolas and all sorts of other kinds of fruit trees that can also provide additional economic gains for the local community and the producers. We grow oranges and citrus fruits. We grow plantain, and we also grow a vegetable garden as well. So a little bit more about the chocolate tour. Part of the goal is that we're adding value to our cacao. Every time we export a cacao bean in the Dominican Republic, we're actually exporting many jobs, many opportunities along with that bean. And there's as Saiurys mentioned, the numbers, they have to add up, and the numbers are very important. Well, I have a very strong number for all of you to think about when it comes to our countries and in this region and how we are oriented towards exportation. When we export a cacao bean, we lose out on approximately 6,000% of marginal utility. We are selling currently, our producers, our cacao, for around $1 a bag, or $1 a pound. So we sell them in quintales, is the measurement, which is about 40 kilos. And it's going for right around or under $100 currently. And so $1 per pound of raw cacao, well, you can know that a Hershey bar or any of your local chocolate is going for over $1, and they're not even using a fraction of a pound of that chocolate. So all of those benefits and that economy is staying in Switzerland, Belgium, Canada, the US, and many other countries who are, for one, larger consumers of the chocolate, and also they have the technical capacitation in order to be the chocolatiers and mass produce chocolate all around the world. So that's where we're coming in from the product line. We're working on adding value to cacao. And one of the ways is experientially through the chocolate tour, where everyone comes and they get to learn from the hands of the producers themselves how to transform the cacao in the ancestral method into a traditional artisanal cacao ball. We also commercialize local products from our other local small producers. One thing that I didn't mention is that cacao different than maybe other staple crops, such as corn in my home country in the United States of America, or sugarcane. Cacao is small producer based, and that really makes a big difference, because over 300,000 Dominicans are involved in the cacao industry here. That's a large percentage of the population, an enormous percentage of the agricultural labor force in the entire Dominican Republic. And anywhere that they're growing cacao, well, they can also grow other kinds of products, such as bananas, plantains, honey, as you can see there. So we're working on marketing and commercializing their products, putting them into the cities where others can purchase the goods directly from the farmers themselves through our methods. You can also see the traditional cacao ball. It looks more like maybe an American football. It's long, that the locals are making. This is a local community group that has been making the artisanal balls, and we commercialize those as well in the cities of Santiago or Santo Domingo in order to promote and also sell their wares. The other side products of the cacao industry that we offer are cocoa butter, chocolate therapy, which is a spa, a facial with cacao and clay. So it's like a spa treatment. Well, our main product, which is our first commercial product right here, is the cimarrona. Okay, so you're gonna see something that maybe in your countries, maybe you haven't seen yet. Maybe it's not so popular. I know our fellow folks in our neighbor Haiti really love not only their prestige beer, but they also have Guinness, which is a stout. Well, we've added cacao to the stout. So we have a chocolate beer, a cacao stout, which is made with our organic cocoa. And we know that folks here love not only during the holidays of December to be enjoying the spirits, but all year round. So we want to give people an opportunity to enjoy a different kind of dark beer made with products from right here in the Dominican Republic. In many cases, the hops, the barley may be coming from other countries, but now we're adding a local product, local raw materials into the beer recipes. So our beer is more local, and we're employing locals in the production of that beer as well. One thing I did pass over was this picture right here. Maybe we're not ranked as a hotel of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 stars, but this is a picture earlier this month when it was a new moon, and that's how many stars you can count. So we always say we're a 1 million-star hotel. So we do agro-tourism and ecotourism experiences. We want to offer opportunities through our local guides in order to take individuals to the local rivers and employ them through that. They're also part of the chocolate tours. So we have the guides hand in hand with from the community, teaching them how they've learned their entire lives, how to cultivate the cacao and convert it into the chocolate, the rich, delicious organic chocolate. We also integrate the community through on the restaurant side, you could say. We want to bring people to have unique organic experiences with local doñas, as we call them here in the Dominican Republic, our grannies who are always willing to share their traditional spice. And we invite our guests to have experiences in their homes. And so they've opened up their homes, and they also are earning gainfully through that kind of a cultural exchange. We also, on the, let's see, as I mentioned, this is kind of the average age of a cacao producer. It's something that was really alarming for an industry from a finance and economics perspective. If you knew that your entire median employee force were of retirement age in most countries, that would be a major concern. One of the things that we want to promote, maybe you've heard of the concept of farm to table. Well, since we're organic, we say we can be farm to mouth. You can just pick whatever you find there. There's no pesticides, no insecticides getting used. So you can directly enjoy the fresh fruits and vegetables that are part of the experience that we offer. From an environmental perspective, as I've mentioned a bit about the people and a bit about the profits through our services and the products, those lines, we should talk about the environmental side. So we have an orchard which we harvest the cacao from, as well as mandarin oranges and bitter orange, plantains, root vegetables, and we offer that food as part of the meals to our visitors. So the farm to mouth is one of the ways in which we reduce our carbon footprint. because literally you're not needing to import anything from a truck or a kiwi from New Zealand to enjoy it on a Dominican beach or in the mountains, for example. So that is one way where we completely annihilated the carbon footprint entirely. We don't use agrochemicals. We use organic fertilizer. We are following permaculture kind of methods. So it's about the long-term agricultural, I want to say exploitation. We can say so in a positive way. I believe so. We can exploit nature and do so in a regenerative method. And that is what it's all about. As Saiurys said, maybe we're always going to have an impact. What if our impact is actually more positive than negative? And we believe that that's possible. And that's why every tree that gets felled for the construction of any of our facilities, well, first we analyze if that tree is useful in a bioconstructive kind of method. So the Piñón Cubano is one of our favorite trees, because every time we chop one down, we end up with 20 more or 30 more trees, because each of their stakes ends up being another tree. So I used to always be concerned about seeing a tree fallen. And now I know that every time it falls, at least with this kind of species of tree, we're actually multiplying exponentially the tree's footprint right there. So we practice responsible agroforestry. We don't use single-use plastics at our farm, or we at least try to reduce them as much as possible, because at the location where we're at, we don't have any waste management recollection either. So part of the local authorities, that may be an issue, but we've just decided to take that as a positive, which may have been a challenge, because then it calls us into a commitment of truly living off the land and disconnecting ourselves from this destructive kind of use of plastics in a single-use method, at least. If you're going to bring plastics, it's going to be something that we end up using for the long term. We use our water resources in a very sustainable way as well. In the irrigation of the orchard, we had to fight for quite some time in order to get our aqueducts to be functioning in our communities. It's very common in the rural Dominican Republic for people to have to solve their own water issues. And the communities, as you can see here, this is a picture from some of the first projects that we did in this area and region, in the bottom right. That was in 2012. So over 10 years ago, we've been building aqueducts. We've already built 5 aqueducts in the community. Most recently, our aqueduct for the immediate community of 20 families and surrounding the farm. And also, as you can see in the newspaper clipping, we started to ally with local water companies in order to bring aqueducts towards other communities in need as well. And we've been channeling that through the social enterprise side of an NGO, which is called Leader of Light, or Litro de Luz. And so it works with the reduction of plastics, and we are also partnered directly. We are president and leadership on the board of the Leader of Light Foundation. And so we're integrating the social side with the business side as well. So anytime we're going to one of these communities, we're also exploring how we can encourage them in order to become part. If they have other attractions, for example, we have a local señora that makes Mama Juana. Mama Juana is a spiced rum remedy, and they swear it's like snake oil. It'll solve. Somebody. Sounds like somebody's tried their Mama Juana. They like it. The idea is that you can go and meet this community member and actually learn about which of the spices and how did she learn how to acquire them and integrate them into her remedies. And so that is one of the attractions that came from this recent aqueduct implementation, that as well as river hikes with local guides as well. On the social side, through the construction, we employ people from the very local town in the construction of all of our facilities. And they can also participate in the innovation of the processes that we're using. For instance, the construction using bamboo is very nuanced, I would say, in the Dominican Republic. It's not so common as maybe you've seen in Indonesia or other parts of the South Pacific. So to find locals who knew how to build with bamboo, that we sought folks from the immediate area of Altamira. And that way we kind of have this knowledge transfer in with the local builders as well. And a bit about why maybe we've entered into this world of sustainability. We believe that one, we can earn enough for our families, that the bizcocho, as we say, is the cake, is large enough to divide it amongst ourselves and our community. We know that scarcity is a myth and that abundance is out there. We've had more than 7 million tourists arrive to the Dominican Republic in the past year, breaking records. So how can we integrate maybe a fledgling industry into the tourism sector is where we're finding our niche in that sense. We offer the tourists themselves the products that our locals are making, and the plan is to continue to expand to other parts of the island and then internationally. But first off, we're creating everything that we need on the farm for the consumption locally. And we're immediately within an hour's reach of at least 2 major cruise terminals. And so that's one of the opportunities that we see as a major room for expansion. This is an overhead view of the farm itself. It's might as well mention that through some of the sustainable methods, one is the use of waste management. You can see a small building in the lower left section, and that is a composting latrine. So even during the first 2 years, during the initial construction phases, up until this point, we've offered a kind of very green method of waste management through composting latrine. So the poo-poo turns into fertilizer itself. So we invite our visitors to learn about how we can completely transform maybe the paradigms that we use of how we live with nature. That nature, as I think this previous slide, you can see on the left side, it says, we can observe nature and you'll see it in ourselves. So nature isn't something that is outside of us. The people and the planet may be a productive method for understanding sustainability, but the people and the planet are one and the same in this sense. So we want to invite that kind of an orientation of understanding our relationship with nature in one that it doesn't have to be negative, and we can still be gainfully employed and employ others through the process. A couple of final kind of notes. Well, yeah, I would almost kind of open up for questions. That's kind of the end of my basic presentation, but would love to share in the conversation, and really appreciate the opportunity to share Chocolate Mountain with you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ryan. Wow, very, very informative and very interesting project there. We want to thank Saiurys for, presenting on the principles of sustainable business model and, bringing us back to the balance of everything, people, planet, profit. And I really liked what Ryan added there with purpose. So it's people, planet, profit, and purpose. Very, very useful presentations. Now, we would like to allow everyone to, ask a few questions. We don't have a lot of time, but I'd like for you to ask some questions, so you can go ahead and raise your hand, and we'll acknowledge you as best as we can. So the floor is open for you to ask questions at this point to Saiurys and Ryan.
Okay, I see somebody asked, Roni said, how are you maintaining the dead scent from the cocoa? Well, part of the fermentation is this kind of very strong scent that's part of the fermentation of cacao. We have just under 1 hectare of cacao, and it's also some is dedicated to now more touristic purposes. So our production side is not so large that we have a major facility that you can smell the cacao maybe from kilometers away. We are producing less than a ton a year. But with expansion in mind, all of our local neighbors are producing many tons. They take the cacao out of here in large truckloads. And so the local block has a production capacity of it's far ahead of what we can actually produce or transform through our purposes. So I hope that answers that question. It's not such a major issue because our volumes aren't that high. Someone asked, how did we come up with such a wonderful idea? Well, the name itself, Chocolate Mountain, was pretty easy. As you saw in the presentation, it's mountainous and it's full of chocolate. And so I came into love chocolate through social work with Peace Corps volunteers all around the Dominican Republic. And we would go and do social projects. And I started to find that no matter if I was in the center of the island or in any of the extremes, the producers, they all had chocolate almost all over the island. It's everywhere, and it's all around our coordinates around the Ecuador or the equator. All of our islands are cacao producing or potentially. And so the idea with the kind of integrating, I'd say, as being a multifaceted kind of individual, always trying to find out ways of connecting the dots has been part of the challenge. I'd say that sometimes I wish it was more simplified, but I think that we're finding and have found kind of a really great niche in that sense, because when we do keep our minds open to the possibilities, the opportunities abound. So Risha asked, what is our main source of income? Through the rentals of short-term rentals through Airbnb. That is one of the main sources. That and through the sales of products like beer. Me personally, as the development of the project, and like I mentioned in the beginning, well, I'm a photographer and videographer as well. So that's part of how I've sustained myself through the startup phases.
Hi, good night. I have a question for Ms. Bonnet. I hope I say your name correctly.
Yeah.
Good night again, and thank you for having this session. It is a pleasure being here tonight. My question that I'm posing to you tonight is in regards to the reduction of food importation bill in my country. It's very high. So in regards to my company as an agro processor, phase 2 of our business is in the aspect of reducing a particular item on the food importation bill that is heavily imported in my country. Now, one, is that considered to be sustainable? And then two, if it is sustainable in terms of pitching for the competition, how would you present something that is in its prototype idea stage in terms of the business canvas model? Because some of the questions that would be required to answer, it's still in its, as you would understand when I say prototype and idea stage. How would you fee something out like that to pitch to a potential investor? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Antona. I'm going to ask something else before answering. What are you going to sell specifically? What's the product?
Well, currently, right now, what we do is that we manufacture local ingredient sources, which comes from using things like garlic and so forth. Phase 2 of our business is the production of garlic in our hemisphere, which is not done. Our garlic is predominantly heavily imported. It's one of the main things that are imported, apart from some other things that we're looking at. So we're experimenting with growing it in our hemisphere. So yes, how do you go forward from there?
Okay, if it's related to grow something from the land, first of all, you need to be able to tell them how you're going to take care of this soil. Because growing can be easy for many people that don't know about regenerative agriculture methodologies. And Brian mentioned, for example, permaculture is one design style, but also agroforestry, syntropic farming, and all of it. So it's not related just to the product you're trying to grow, is the methodology you're going to use. I think that's the main value proposition you can add to the table. Because now you're talking about garlic, but later on, maybe when you run the model, you're going to decide it's not going to be garlic, it's going to be something else, but still related to agriculture or to grow. And something that applies to whatever thing you're thinking about growing is the methodology, the production methodology. So highly recommend to first of all, if you don't know, learn about regenerative growing methodologies, agricultural methodologies, and then try to implement them, put them on place, because that's gonna be the added value, and that's gonna be the main way to reduce the cost, because that type of systems create what they need to get growing. Doesn't need anything from the outside, so you don't need to keep paying for live what other techniques need to put from the outside, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do. We actually do have a method. That's why we're experimenting with it. So I can't see on the platform, but we actually do have something that we're experimenting with, and it's looking plausible. So if it is, then we will go large scale from there.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
Any question? I put in the chat, just for you to know, the link of the template I share with you guys, and also the footprint calculator tool. For me, is the best one because it's so friendly to use. It's gonna ask you questions about your habits. And if you do it, please share it on social media and tag Una Vaina Verde, Chocolate Mountain, MicroPitch, for us to see the results, because we are gonna see how many plants we are gonna be needing if all of us consume a few.
Zoom meeting I'm in.
Carol, are you talking to me or the mic is just open?
Okay. All right.
Okay. So I also give you in the chat the Chocolate Mountain Instagram profile for you to look at that and to book your next visit to DR. Go to Chocolate Mountain and try the sancocho and the cimarrona, which is the beer, because you are gonna love it. The sancocho is, I hope you know what sancocho. Ryan, can you explain the good sancocho you made there? You're in mute. Yeah, again.
There we go. Well, I'd say the Dominican women are known for having their special touch of seasonings. You know, for the sancocho, this comes from Cape Verde, I believe, Cabo Verde. It is the original origin, so it's come across from the continent, and I believe in Puerto Rico and in Colombia they have sancocho as well, but it's a stew, and it's based with a pumpkin squash and often a few different types of meats, all put together in an amazing, mouth-watering kind of concoction that makes you have to eat a bowl at least this big. You know, it's like you have to eat at least a gallon at a time. You know, big plates, big bowls. I did want to mention something that I realized I skipped. I mentioned the name cimarrona, and somebody also mentioned that I was saying cacao, which they know as cocoa. And so, you know, the cimarrona, I did not say, but part of the culture rescue that we're working for, hello, is the concept of maroonage. And so cimarron was the concept of the first refugees who were the initial freedom fighters of the Americas, who said, no, we don't want to be colonized, we'll take to the hills. And our farm is located behind Diego de Ocampo's Peak, who nobody in the region really knows who Diego de Ocampo was. He's kind of been written off of history. And he was a successful maroon. As other places, maybe we've heard of Manieles or Palenques. The maroons of Jamaica are very, very famous as well. And so part of this concept in general and the purpose side of it is a call for us to be self-sustainable and autonomous.
Thank you, Brian. I hope you find value in my presentation and also in this case. For me, it's a success case because it's easy to talk about sustainability, but it's difficult to implement. And the main take I want you to have from this session is that it's possible. Can sound difficult. It is difficult because sometimes we don't have any references to apply it into our business model, into our industry, into whatever we're developing. But you need to be that one person that start and became that reference. So think through the triple bottom line and make it work, because can be possible, and Chocolate Mountain did it well. So keep that inspiring case.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we'll have to move to our next aspect of our session. Our session is basically finished. Moving right along, I know some persons have to leave soon, or some persons have left already. Lucy, I give you the floor at this point to, carry out what you need to do.
Thank you, Yankyu. Thanks everyone for this very inspiring session. Thanks, Saiurys and Ryan for the presentation, and all of you for all the questions. And in the chat, I was reading all the comments. It's so inspiring, so interesting. So thanks a lot. And I just read a comment from someone who is saying, I want to start my business and I want to start as a sustainable business. So I think it's so inspiring to see, to read this type of message and to see all this community that's joined today. So very happy to see that. I just want to answer to one question as well in the chat on the micropitch. So participating to the training session will help you to add points to your application, but it was not a requirement. So it's not, you can apply even if you just participated to one session, the session of today, you can apply, and there's no problem for that. So please go to the website. It was not a requirement to participate to the 3 training sessions, but it was something which was good for you, because you can add points with your participation at each training session. So now we would like to do a nice picture of all of you. We know that we are running a bit late, so thank you for staying until now. So if you can just turn on your camera, and we would like to see you and to be able to do a nice picture of all of us. So I will just prepare now and give you a few seconds, and I will count until 3. Are you ready? Very nice and everything. So 1, 2, 3. This was the first one. I will do a second one.
Can you please unmute my?
And then the second one. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thanks a lot. Thank you. And back to you, Yankyu.
Thank you. Thank you, Lucy. All right. So we're basically at the end. At this time, I'm going to invite Christina. At this time, I'm going to invite Christina Easel, representative for the Southern and Eastern Caribbean of the European Investment Bank, to give us the closing remarks.
Thank you, Yankyu. And most of all, thank you to Saiurys and Ryan for the presentations and for all of your active participation. As my colleague Yves said in the beginning, as European Investment Bank, we are very pleased to support MicroPitch. And this is the first time I am involved in MicroPitch, and I've attended all the training sessions. And it's been really inspiring to listen to all the different presentations, and also to see the really active participation, the ideas and the businesses that you have, the questions that you have to each other, to trainers. So it's been a wonderful journey. And I very much encourage you to apply for the business plan competition as well. And so we can continue this journey together. But thank you to our presenters. I think you've had a lot of practical tools in terms of the sustainable business model canvas presented to you, and also the very inspiring example from Ryan and all the different sustainable business lines that you've created, and how you've integrated the local community and even the grannies. I've read the comments in the chat, and I think everybody is very inspired, and it's a great way to end the training, to be inspired to do more in one's own work. So thank you very much from my side, and hope to see you again.
Bye everyone, stay safe.